Caitlin Clark, what she's doing doesn't minimize what they've done, but we should have been giving her the credit. We saw the ratings, we saw the merchandise sales, we saw the attendance.
Caitlin Clark played a terrible game, shot 4 of 17 from the field. The Indiana Fever got curb stomped by the Connecticut Sun.
That pushed the Indiana Fever over 500 for the first time in 5 years.
So a WNBA star, a football legend, and a bunch of Twitter warriors walk into a bar. Just kidding. But seriously, the Caitlin Clark drama is getting out of hand, and Shannon Sharpe's not laughing. He's calling out the haters, and you won't believe what he's saying about race in women's basketball. A voice out of nowhere broke through the commotion as the argument continued. The legendary football player Shannon Sharpe had some thoughts on basketball. Why did he feel that he had to defend Caitlin Clark? His remarks will soon throw new insight on the situation surrounding this topic and women's basketball in general. Sharpe came out with a viewpoint that has everyone talking. Not only because he stood up for Clark, he described her as one of the most talented women basketball players in the history of the country. That is very significant. However, why would a football icon support a brilliant college basketball player? The thing is, Sharpe recognizes something unique in Clark. She is the box office, and he is not referring to movies. That means she's a superstar in the sports world who makes people sit down and look at screens, and he can prove it with the receipts. Sharpe is pointing to women's basketball attendance and viewing figures that are surging. Observe the attendance, observe the viewership, he is saying. It seems as though Clark have a magical touch that is increasing the popularity of the entire sport. However, what about that glare?
That's great, and you have an opportunity to come back the next game and, try to play a little bit better and give yourself a chance to take it back home and win.
Well, people say, all of a sudden, I'm now interested in something I wasn't before. Look at the attendance, look at the viewership. And then they watch the games, and she's constantly being abused. She was stabbed in the eye last night.
Man, she was coming off the picks, let the freeze go.
Yeah.
Enrique come down, let one go.
Yeah.
She said, wow. She said, I'm tired right now. Hey, Kelsey, take that one.
Sharpe does not believe the fanfare. He's suggesting that it was most likely just an accident, the kind that occurs frequently in basketball. He said she was playing the ball. He seems to be attempting to be the calm voice amidst all of this commotion. Sharpe is questioning the way we discuss women's basketball in addition to standing up for Clark. He's arguing that rather than devaluing the greats that came before Clark, we should give her the credit she deserves. It's both and rather than either or. But wait, Sharpe is delving even further into this narrative. He claims that the rivalry between Clark and Reese is a reflection of something much more than just basketball prowess. What if women's basketball benefits from this rivalry? We adore a good rivalry in athletics, don't you think? The Clark-Reese battle, though, is really elevating the game. It goes beyond who can make the big plays or who has the better jump shot. No, this rivalry is addressing a far deeper issue in America. Shannon Sharpe is revealing some shocking facts concerning the reasons behind our incessant discussion of Clark and Reese. He's stating, the reason why this relationship, this rivalry, is so compelling is because it's what this country is built on. It's black and white.
That's great, and you have an opportunity to come back the next game and, try to play a little bit better and give yourself a chance to take it back home and win.
Well, people say, all of a sudden, I'm now interested in something I wasn't before. Look at the attendance, look at the viewership. And then they watch the games, and she's constantly being abused. She was stabbed in the eye last night.
Man, she was coming off the picks, let the freeze go.
Yeah.
Enrique come down, let one go.
Yeah.
She said, wow. She said, I'm tired right now. Hey, Kelsey, take that one.
Whoa, isn't it a lot of weight? Consider it. There's the incisive guard from Iowa, Caitlin Clark, and the powerful forward from LSU, Angel Reese. Despite the fact that they are both outstanding players, their off-court and on-court styles are quite different. That's when the exciting part starts. Do you recall when Reese got in trouble for making fun of Clark? People's reactions to that are being highlighted by Sharpe, and it's like a mirror reflecting our own prejudices back at us. While some people were furious over it, others claimed it was just a part of the game. It seems like everyone had the same observation, but had somewhat diverse interpretations of it. Here's where Sharpe truly blows people away, though. He is arguing against taking sides. It's neither Team Reese nor Team Clark. His whole focus is on providing the flowers to both players. Superhuman abilities are possessed by Clark, and Reese is a formidable opponent. How come we can't celebrate both? As Sharpe puts it, you need a story, you need this storyline. He is discussing how, despite all of its complexities, this rivalry is actually drawing greater attention to women's basketball. It like a spark that is illuminating the entire league. Consider it. When was the last time you witnessed such a passionate crowd surrounding a women's collegiate basketball match?
I mean, we all see it. It is what it is.
I think that at the end of the day, I know who I am. And
Caitlin Clark, unanimous Rookie of the Year. But what's even more impressive, she's first team WNBA.
The Michael Jordan of the WNBA was assaulted, has a black eye during the second half of the game because Dejanay Carrington stabbed her with her fingernails in the eye.
People are talking, tweeting, and paying attention because of this competition. Hardcore fans are no longer the only ones with opinions about Clark and Reese. Everyone has one, but the true game changer is right here. According to Sharpe, Reese and Clark are both essential to the league's expansion. It is hardly the case that one outstanding athlete bears the weight of the entire sport. No, it's about these amazing athletes encouraging one another to improve and enlisting more supporters in the process. Sharpe seems to be pushing us to think more broadly. Rather of getting bogged down in questions of right and wrong, good and terrible, he is stating, look at what this rivalry is doing for women's basketball. It's attracting new followers, igniting discussions, and forcing people to pay attention in ways they've never paid attention to before. What's wild, you know? In fact, all of this controversy may be the best thing to happen to women's basketball in a long time.
Oh, you would think she would do this or the poking eye like this. How are you going to go for the ball like this and then have your hand come down and hit her right in the eye?
Like Tiger, like MJ. We shouldn't hate on her. We should celebrate her, not tolerate her.
She's got to get out of there. They need a real enforcer. They need people that have Caitlin Clark's back.
Really? A remarkable development has been taking place behind the scenes. While everyone has been occupied with arguments concerning Clark and Reese, the WNBA is making enormous sums of money. Just a coincidence? Not in my opinion. Let's take a moment to discuss numbers. The WNBA has been setting numerous records. The league is making more money than it has ever made. More people are watching, and more fans are packing arenas. And in the midst of all this enthusiasm, you know who's right? Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. These two are human highlight reels in addition to being excellent players. Every time they take the court, incredible things take place, and others are taking notice. It's no longer only ardent basketball fanatics. It's important that women's basketball is a topic of conversation. This is the tough part though. Some people are concerned that Clark's celebrity may eclipse other athletes, particularly those who came before her.
Vocal about their fandom of her was because they were using her as a wedge and a weapon against the black women in the league.
That's how twisted and screwed up this WNBA thing and this sexuality thing is they got going on in the WNBA.
And so what she's doing, and you heard what she said, all those Caitlin Clark. I was at the All-Star game. She got one of the loudest ovations.
Hey, what about all the greats who built this league? Seems to be their message. Shannon Sharpe offers an insightful perspective that will have you thinking at that point. He's stating that what they did cannot be taken away, which what she's doing doesn't minimize what they've done. He seems to be saying that we don't have to decide between enjoying the past and looking forward to the future. Sharpe argues that Clark's achievements are not taking away from others' brilliance. It seems as though she is illuminating the entire league. More people watch her while she performs. The sport as a whole expands with increased viewership. A win-win scenario exists. You know what's actually eye-opening though? Sharpe is criticizing some of the top sports media figures. Many of the men who discuss the WNBA, according to him, just don't know expletive about women's basketball. Is that really true? It is possible that the men who are meant to be specialists are ignorant about the subject. This is significant because it forces us to consider the sources of our information. Are we hearing opinions from individuals who don't truly get the game? Or are we listening to people who are knowledgeable about it?
The first woman to ever be the biggest star in American sports was assaulted 2 minutes into the game.
That's not the first time that Caitlin has received a flagrant foul. I thought she tried to block somebody's shot. She hit somebody upside the head. I don't know if they called it a flagrant foul, but if they did,
They're trying to act like it's somehow virtuous that women are degrading and trying to eliminate Caitlin Clark in the WNBA. Let's keep it real.
According to Sharpe, we should pay attention to the player's real skill rather than the chatter surrounding it. He's putting it out there for us to recognize the value in players like Clark and Reese, and their contributions to the game. It isn't about putting them up against previous players or each other. Realizing that they're raising the bar for women's basketball is important. Furthermore, what do you know? That's just what the game needs at this moment. More fans, more enthusiasm, and more chatter about how incredible these athletes are. It involves more than just one player or competition. The goal is to improve the sport as a whole. Consider it. When was the last time you witnessed such a passionate crowd surrounding women's basketball? As chaotic as this dispute may seem, it's actually highlighting the amazing skill in the league. And that light bulb, it's attracting new supporters, sponsors, and avenues for the sport to expand.